floated effortlessly in the cockpit of Lunar Rover 1, his paws gently paddling through the weightless air. His bright orange spacesuit was snug around his furry body, and his helmet, slightly too large for his head, wobbled when he turned. Outside the ship's window, the vastness of space stretched endlessly, stars twinkling in the distance. Earth was a blue marble, far behind him now, nothing more than a memory. Barkley was no ordinary dog. He was the first canine astronaut to pilot a solo mission to the distant planet of Europa. He had been trained by the best minds in astrophysics, his intelligence far surpassing that of a normal dog, thanks to a series of groundbreaking experiments. Now, he was one. He was on the most important journey of his life, one that no human had yet dared to undertake. The control panel beeped softly in front of him, indicating the ship was on course. His tail wagged instinctively. Everything was going according to plan. Commander Barkley nudged a few buttons with his nose, adjusting the ship's trajectory as he passed by an asteroid field. His sharp eyes scanned the radar for any threats. His keen instincts, honed by years of training. He was alone out here, but Barkley didn't feel lonely. He had his mission, and that was enough. As he floated in the silence, his mind wandered back to Earth. He remembered running through the fields behind the training facility, chasing after balls, rolling in the grass, and receiving belly rubs from the scientists. They had cared for him well, but they had also trusted him with this vital task. Barkley wasn't just any dog anymore. He was an astronaut, responsible for exploring the unknown and bringing back crucial data. Europa was still days away. Barkley looked through the small window at Jupiter, its massive swirling clouds dominating the view. Europa, one of its moons, was his destination. Scientists believed there might be life beneath its icy surface, and Barkley was the one they had chosen to find out. Suddenly, the ship's alarm blared. Barkley's ears perked up as the warning lights flashed red across the console. A meteor shower, unpredicted and rapidly approaching. His training kicked in. With a few precise barks and paw taps on the controls, he veered the ship into a sharp dive, dodging the first wave of meteors. The ship rattled as smaller fragments pinged off the hull, and Barkley's heart raced. He steered through the chaos with grace, his canine reflexes sharper than any human pilot could hope for. The meteors zipped past, but Barkley maneuvered expertly, his paws steady, his focus unwavering. As the last meteor zoomed by, the ship emerged unscathed. Barkley let out a small, triumphant bark, wagging his tail. He had made it through, just as he knew he would. The rest of the journey was quieter, the vast emptiness of space returning to its usual stillness. Barkley floated in the cockpit, occasionally glancing at the system's readouts and adjusting the course. Hours passed in peaceful isolation, and the glow of Europa grew brighter with each passing moment. Finally, Europa came into full view. Its surface was a shimmering layer of ice, reflecting the light from Jupiter in pale blues and whites. Barkley's mission was clear. He would land on the frozen moon and send a probe deep beneath the ice to search for signs of life. The ship descended through Europa's thin atmosphere, and with a gentle thud, Lunar Rover 1 touched down on the moon's surface. Barkley barked once to acknowledge the successful landing. He padded over to the airlock, his spacesuit secure, and carefully descended the ramp, stepping onto the icy surface. His paw prints left small impressions in the frost. Europa was silent, colder than anything Barkley had ever felt. But he wasn't afraid. He was an explorer, the first of his kind. He trotted across the frozen landscape, heading toward the site where the probe would be deployed. His breath fogged up the inside of the helmet, but he didn't mind. The excitement of discovery was all he needed. Barkley reached the probe's launch point and activated it with a paw press. The ground beneath him hummed as the machine drilled into the ice, sending data back to Earth. Barkley stood guard, his eyes scanning the alien horizon. He hoped to uncover something extraordinary, a sign of life beneath the ice. After a while, the probe finished its work, and Barkley returned to the ship. He would transmit the data back to Earth, but for now, he felt a deep sense of accomplishment. He had successfully completed his mission. As he prepared for the journey home, he looked out at Europa one last time. The ship lifted off from the moon's surface and began its return trip to Earth. Barkley gazed at the stars through the window, feeling a mixture of pride and wonder. He had ventured farther than any dog before him, and had fulfilled his role as an explorer. With a satisfied wag of his tail, Barkley settled into the seat, looking forward to returning home and reflecting on his extraordinary adventure. The end. Thanks for listening today. I hope you have a great day or night. Peace.